Hey everyone, Kristen Atkinson here from CFB Edmonton, and today I'm going to go over the importance of doing a cool down after your training. So to start off, let's give the word cool down a bit of context. What is a cool down? A cool down can be defined as voluntary, low to moderate intensity movements or activity that is done after training, sport, practice, etc. Cool downs can be split into two general categories, the first being an active cool down. This can consist of low-intensity swimming, walking, cycling, or resistance exercises or stretches. The second being a passive cool down. This typically includes sitting, standing, or lying rest, diaphragmatic breathing, massage, self-myofascial release or foam rolling, static stretching, cryotherapy, contrast hydrotherapy, or neuromuscular electrical stimulation. Many cool-down protocols typically include a combination of both active and passive methods. Now, the cool-down is generally the portion of the training session or recovery that gets dismissed. We spend so much time preparing for the training session or the game, performing during the training session or the game, and then generally minimal to no time on cooling down. So here's why a cool-down is important. This image depicts the psychophysiological benefits of both active and passive cooldowns. Such benefits include, but are not limited to, decreased muscle soreness or DOMS, increased removal of metabolic byproducts such as lactate from the blood and muscle, brings the cardiovascular and respiratory systems back to a homeostatic state, assists with injury prevention, and a bunch of other benefits. Now, the research is split down the middle per se as to whether an active cooldown offers superior benefits to performance as opposed to a passive cooldown. Research is also split as to the degree that a cooldown provides all these benefits listed on the previous slide. There are factors that have caused this gray area, if you will, when it comes to cooling down, such as having multiple training sessions or games or practices in one day, or how long the individual or athlete has between training sessions, practices, or games. But here's what we do know, that there is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to cooling down. The mode, intensity, and duration of the training session or sport largely influences the effectiveness of the cool down on recovery. Even with that being said, these effects can be variable between individuals. So simply put, depending on what your sport or training session requires you to do, will more or less dictate the structure of your cool down. So I'm going to give you a couple guidelines to help you structure your cool downs. Number 1, an active cool down should involve dynamic movements performed at a low to moderate metabolic intensity to promote efficient blood flow, but also prevent the development of additional fatigue. Number 2, there should be low to moderate mechanical impact to soft tissue to prevent the development of additional damage and delayed onset muscle soreness. Number 3, cool downs should be shorter than 30 minutes as to not to interfere with the rest of the recovery process. And number 4, most importantly, the structure and modes implemented into the cool down, whatever they may be, should be specific to the systems and the muscle groups used during training or sport. So if you're needing to upgrade your cool down, send us an email at psp.edmonton@gmail.com. And if you're needing some more information on other aspects of recovery, visit our Facebook page or hit up our YouTube channel.